Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, y'all. So, let's do it. President Biden delivered a historic address from the Oval Office on his decision to exit the 2024 election, saying now's the time to pass the torch to a new generation of political leaders. Let's hear more from President Biden's address from the Oval last night.
My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. It's not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that, and I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy?
Yeah. So the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, she pushed back against claims that President Biden's decision to drop out was due to health, adding that he is putting the country first.
No, it was due to donors and polls. That's what it was due to.
Talk about it then, King. So the president did reiterate his intention to remain in office, and he listed his priorities over the next 6 months. He also praised Vice President Kamala Harris, calling her tough and capable as she kicks off her presidential bid. Meanwhile, members of the Congressional Black
I do want to say, though, Morgan, it's amazing how much Joe Biden stepping down was the right idea. For everybody that was fighting it, coming to Biden's defense, saying things like, I'll vote for a corpse. Doesn't it feel good to have a candidate that has more life? All the money that's been raised, 40,000 new voters registered in 48 hours.
Yeah.
None of that would have happened if Joe Biden listened to you idiots telling him he should stay the course.
No, it's a new energy, and it feels way better. It just feels like the right thing.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what the Congressional Black Caucus is saying. Your good friend, Texas Democrat Jasmine Crockett, says the campaign has been so inspiring so far. Let's hear more from her.
From the moment that she got into this race, you have seen nothing but history being made, finally, for the right reasons. You see historic amounts of money being raised. That is because we understand the assignment. You see historic amounts of women coming together online and black men coming together online and raising money.
The party was in disarray, and now it seems like there's some unity in the Democratic Party. But once again, none of that would have happened if Joe Biden listened to you idiots telling him that he should have stayed the course. Okay, all right.
So the DNC, Democratic National Committee, expects that Vice President Harris will, if nominated, she's going to pick a running mate by August 7th. Now, again, the DNC happens on August 19th, but there will be a virtual event to a virtual roll call for her to go ahead and get the nomination on August 1st. Now, on Fox and Friends news host Brian Kilmeade, he's catching hell for a video clip where he criticized Vice President Harris for not attending yesterday's address to Congress, where Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke to Congress, and instead she spoke to the black sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Incorporated. And many say he said colored sorority, while the Fox News host is pushing back, saying he said college sorority. So let's hear that audio, and you can determine what he said.
The most recent decision, already you got a question. She will not show up for the Prime Minister's joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority, like she can't get out of that.
So what y'all think, college or colored?
He said college. And listen, black people, we're going to lose our minds looking for random acts of racism and sexism. There's going to be a lot of blatant racism and sexism over the next 100 days, and it's going to be even more if Vice President Kamala Harris gets in the White House. So I just think we look ridiculous sitting around trying to figure out whether a person said college or colored. Like, there's a lot of blatant acts of racism and sexism that's happening now, and that's going to be happening. I'm not sitting around wasting my time trying to decide whether he said college or colored. I felt like he said college.
Well, see, the problem is one person heard him say colored, and then everybody's like, yeah, he said
colored. That's
colored.
what they posted.
And then it kept going, and then it's trending, and they'd be like, he said colored.
And that's what I wish. I wish that I would have heard the audio. I wish somebody would just let me hear. I wish somebody would have just let me heard it. Instead of telling me
let you hear
what
before
he
you tell
said.
me, But I did the same thing. When I heard him call, I was like, he said color. He said, what?
And then I heard it slow down. I'm like, bro, he said college.
Yeah, then when you close your eyes and just listen, you'd be like, oh, he said college.
He did say, I've never used that word in my life. If you're listening to what I'm saying, if you know where she's speaking, why I even say that? So
we just going to, I'm telling you, black people, we're going to drive ourselves crazy if we're looking for random acts of racism and sexism over the next 100 days, it's going to be plenty. You will not have to search for it. You will not have to sit around with your people and wonder, did that person say this or did that person say that? It is going to be a lot of it right there in your face. Yeah. Trust me.
All right. Well, that is front page news. What you got next hour, Morgan?
More on Donald Trump, the other side of the aisle. We'll talk about it.
All right. And everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now let's get back in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, guys. How y'all feeling today?
Good.
Good.
Peace, Morgan.
Right. Peace to the planet. So Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, he is speaking for the first time since President Biden ended his campaign for re-election on Wednesday. Trump spoke at a rally in North Carolina where he criticized Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's hear more from former President Trump at his rally in North Carolina.
And just like crooked Joe Biden, Kamala Harris is unfit to lead. She's unfit to lead. She'll destroy our country in a year. For 3.5 years, Harris shamelessly lied to the public to cover up Joe Biden's mental unfitness, claiming that crooked Joe was at the absolute top of his game. I don't think so. I don't think so. I wish him well, but I don't like him. He's not a nice person. If Kamala will lie to you so brazenly about Joe Biden's mental incapacity, then she will lie to you about anything. She can never, ever be trusted. She can't be trusted.
You know, Trump always says things about others that definitely apply to him. Like, he does a lot of projection. So, you know, when he says things like, you know, she isn't fit to lead, she would ruin the country in a year, all she does is lie to you. That's all things that apply to him.
Absolutely. Well, he definitely said, it's funny that in that clip he said that Biden's not a nice person, but just last week when they were on the phone because Biden reached out because he was shot at, he was saying, oh, he's a nice guy. Well, Trump said he believes that Biden is the worst president in the history of our country, and he alleged the Democratic Party forced him out of the race, something he called undemocratic. Now, in other news, FBI Director Christopher Wray, he's testifying before Congress on the attempted assassination or the assassination attempt on former President Trump's life. Now, during a hearing on Wednesday, Wray told lawmakers the agency has yet to determine the gunman's motive. Let's hear more from FBI Director Christopher Wray.
We are investigating the shooter both to determine his motive and his preparations and activities before the shooting, but also to make sure whether or not there are any co-conspirators, accomplices. We have tried to be transparent with both Congress and the American people as we're going along in the investigation, frankly, unusually so for an ongoing investigation, given the sheer nature of it.
I really can't wait to see what his motive was, though, because, you know, even though I know nobody will learn anything from his motive, I would like to hear it because I would like to know what exactly drove him to do that. We know it's something. It's some type of rhetoric. It's something he saw that made him say, I wanted, you know, try to assassinate a former president. I just want to know what it was.
Yeah, but this is weird, right? With all the resources the federal government has, they haven't found this out as of yet. Like, they have tons of resources, tons of agents on this individual. They should have been found out what his motives were. His phone records, his computer, the dark web, dark web. They should have been on his ass already.
I could be wrong, but I thought I read that he don't have any social media, which I thought was strange for a 20-year-old kid not to have no social media.
But they said he did Google JFK's assassination. But they should have had all his motives and everything done already. Like, this is the FBI. Like, this is the federal government. Like,
I mean, it's only been a week, though. I mean, give it a...
Right. I was going to say the investigation is ongoing. FBI Director Wray revealed, however, the 20-year-old gunman, he flew a drone about 200 yards from the staging area where Trump spoke hours before the rally and was likely live streaming and viewing the footage. Now, authorities found 2 explosive devices that were retrieved from the shooter's vehicle, and a third was found at his home. Now, Wray called the shooting an attack on our democracy and said the nation is currently in an elevated threat mode. Now, Republicans, they are skeptical over the FBI's ability to conduct an open and transparent investigation, criticizing the Justice Department under the Biden administration. Director Wray, he defended the agency's ability to conduct a transparent investigation into the assassination attempt. Now, Director Wray also said that the agency's biggest worry right now is actually illegal immigrants who have limited background information or use fake documents when they seek asylum. He says they need more help from international partners to prevent another attack. Now, I also want to mention that there's an update on the victims who suffered injuries at that rally. One of the 2 people who were injured in the attempted assassination has been released from the hospital. Allegheny Health announced that David Dutch has recovered from his injuries and was discharged. He was shot and wounded during that assassination attempt. And of course, James Copenhaver was also shot, but he remains in the hospital in serious condition. And of course, we also want to continue to remember former fire chief Corey Comperator. He lost his life in that assassination attempt. Very sad.
Horrible, man.
Definitely.
Yeah,
horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. But yeah, that story is developing. They're going to continue to investigate. And of course, I'm going to continue to bring it to you. Let's switch gears, though. You guys use Zelle? Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So check this out. So the peer-to-peer payment system Zelle is being looked into by lawmakers amid a growing number of scams on the platform. The Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations heard testimony on Tuesday from the CEO of Early Warning Services. Now, that's the company that owns and runs Zelle, and also called on to testify were executives from the Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, and Wells Fargo. These are the 3 biggest Zelle owner banks. Now, the subcommittee issued a report faulting the banks for only reimbursing 38% of customers who said they did not approve a transfer from their account. Now, Early Warning Services maintains that about 99.95% of transactions completed without a complaint of fraud or scam, but it's still something that the people should know about. And yeah, you guys should definitely, go back and make sure you're checking those Zelle transactions to make sure that they are accurate.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, thank you, Morgan.
Thank you. So that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. You can follow me on socials at Morgan Media, MorganMedia. And for more news coverage, be sure you're checking out the Black Information Network at Black Information Network and BINnews.com. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Morgan. Peace.
Breakfast Club.